In presenting this celebrated magical work to the student of occult science, some few prefatory remarks are necessary. The Key of Solomon, save for a curtailed and incomplete copy published in France in the 17th century, has never yet been printed, but has for centuries remained in manuscript form, inaccessible to all but for few fortunate scholars to whom the inmost recesses of the great libraries were open. I therefore consider that I am highly honored in being the individual to whose lot it is has fallen to usher it into the light of day. The fountainhead and storehouse of cabalistic magic and the origin of the much ceremonial magic in medieval times, the Key has been ever valued by occult writers as work as the highest authority, and notably in our day, Eliphas Levi has, excuse me if I didn't say that name right, has taken it for the model of on which is celebrated. Dogme et ritual, during Hate Magi, was based, if must evident to the initiated reader of Levi. The Key of Solomon was his textbook of study, and at the end of the volume I give a fragment of ancient Hebrew manuscript of the Key of Solomon, translated and published in the Philosophy Occult, as well as the invocation called the Kabbalistic Invocation of Solomon, which bears close analogy to the one of the first book, being constructed in the same manner on the scheme of Sephora. The history of the Hebrew original of the Key of Solomon is given in the introductions, but there is every reason to suppose that this has been entirely lost. In Christian, the pupil of Levi, such as the rest of the historian D.C. La Magi. I see no reason to doubt the tradition which assigns the authorship of the King of Solomon, for among other Josephus, the Jewish historian, especially mentions the magical works attributed to the monarch that is confirmed by many Eastern traditions, and the magical skill is frequently mentioned in the Arabian Nights. There are, however, two works on black magic, the Gremlin Grimm and the Subluk de Salon Redota, which have been attributed to Solomon, on which have been in the same cases especially mixed up in the present work, but which have nothing really to do therewith. They are full of evil magic, and I cannot caution the practical student to strongly against them. There are also another work called Lemegetin, or the Lesser Key of Solomon the King, which is full of seals of various spirits, and is not the same as the present book, though extremely valuable in its own department. In editing this volume, I admitted one or two experiences partaking largely of black magic, and which have evidently been derived from the two occultic works mentioned above. I must further caution the practical worker against the use of blood, the prayer, the pentacle, and the perfumes, rightly used are sufficient, and form reverges dangerously on the evil path. Let whom, in spite of the warnings of this volume, determines the work of evil, be assured that this evil will recoil on himself, and that he will be struck by the reflex current. The work of edited several ancient MS is in the British Museum, which are deficient at various points, some giving the admitted by others, but fortunately agreeing in one thing, which is execrable mangling of the Hebrew words through the ignorance of transcribers. But in this particular is that the Hebrew is the worst. The letters are very violently scribbled to me, actually undecipherable in some instances. And it's been part of my work for several years to correct and reinstate the proper Hebrew and magical characters and pentacles. The student may therefore safely rely on their being now as nearly correct in the present reproduction, and it is possible for them to be. I have therefore, wherever I could, corrected the Hebrew of the magical names and the conjurations of the pentacles, and in the few instances where it is not possible to do so, I have put them in the most usual form, carefully collecting throughout one MS with another. Well, this sounds like this is not a good book. I don't know about this shit.